Do you wanna know what I did the first time I installed cleats on my cycling shoes? I put them on backwards. And then even after that, my toes were falling asleep, my feet were numb. It was not a good thing until I finally figured out how to properly install my cleats. So if you have new cycling shoes and cleats, or your feet are going numb and you are just not comfortable on your bike, we're gonna go over right now how to properly install your cleats for the most comfy and most powerful ride. Hey there, I am Kaylee, and I like to share fun, motivating, and energizing indoor cycling workouts here on YouTube. But today, we are taking things a little bit deeper. This is next level indoor cycling, and we're gonna talk about installing our cleats. So it is so awesome that you have cycling shoes, because I'm telling you what, this is going to take your cycling game to the next level. So today's install, we're gonna need just a few things. Of course, your shoes and cleats. Duh, that's obvious. We're gonna need painter's tape, so if you have that, or masking tape lying around. Straight edge, so something that is wider than your shoe with a straight edge, permanent marker, and also a 4mm Allen key. So I have this little handy dandy multi-tool, but have a 4mm Allen key and possibly some grease, but we will talk about that in just a bit. These shoes are the Shimano IC5s, and I absolutely love these shoes. Shimano has been a huge supporter of the channel, so we thank them so much for that. And they also offer a 15% discount if you are interested in getting your own Shimanos that you can use at checkout. It's KCF15. You'll find a link down in the description below for that. So as I mentioned in the very beginning, when I first installed my cycling cleats, not only did I put them on backwards to begin with, but even after I had them on the correct way, my toes were going numb, and it was just not a comfortable ride. And that was super disappointing because I was so excited to have cycling shoes. And when I finally realized that my cleats were installed improperly and I installed them the right way, I am telling you what, that made all the difference in the world. I was able to have a comfortable ride. My toes were not going numb, and I was also getting more power out of my pedal stroke. So that is what this is gonna help you do as well. So once you get your cleats installed properly, as opposed to just putting them on, it's gonna make an awesome difference for your rides. All right, so let's get right into this install. The first thing we're gonna need is our tape. And the reason we need tape is we are going to apply tape to the outside and the inside of our shoe. And you need to have quite a big piece of tape right here, because what we are looking for with this tape is we're gonna actually use our marker and mark the widest parts of our foot. So let's just pretend this hand here is a foot. What you're looking for is that widest part of your foot where your toes meet your foot. So you'll feel that bony part sticking out on each side of your foot. We're gonna apply the tape, and we're gonna find those spots on our feet. Now that you've got your tape applied to both sides of your shoe, and with your tape applied, make sure it's close down to the sole, because we are gonna use that mark to help guide where we install our cleats. So just to make it easier, make sure you don't get any marks on your beautiful new cycling shoes. Make sure that tape's lined up close to the soles of your feet, or the soles of your shoes. Now is the time we're gonna put our shoes on. Casually toss your slippers. Now that we've got our shoes on, we are gonna want to stand to make sure our feet are in the most natural position. So when you get your shoes on, grab your marker, stand on up, and again, we are gonna be looking for the widest part of our foot. That is where our toes meet our foot. So let's go ahead and check that out. Once you find that spot, you're gonna make the line down to the bottom of your shoe. What's the next thing? So with our cleats, we are gonna take it out. This is where you will also need your straight edge and your Allen key. So have those available and handy. And if you are planning to use your cycling shoes outdoors as well, this is where you're gonna wanna apply grease to your screws. This is gonna prevent your screws from seizing into the shoes if they happen to start corroding from the elements outdoors. So let's start. First shoe. And now mine have two sets of holes. Yours may as well. And I'm gonna use the top two holes there. But keep in mind, cleat install is not a one and done. Sometimes you gotta go back and adjust things. So we may have to adjust after we install the first time. Make sure you don't completely tighten down your screws, because we are going to be making some adjustments as far as where we want to place the cleat and then also the direction. So don't tighten the screws all the way down until we are confident on where we want this cleat to be placed. All right, now that we have got our cleats just gently screwed in, it is time to take our straight edge and line that up to adjust our cleat. So when you do that, you want to take your straight edge across between the two lines that you've drawn on your shoes, and we are gonna place the cleat just right behind that. So right behind those screws, we're gonna line it up Getting that into position first, and then adjusting the cleat. Now I'm going to keep that little arrow you see on your cleat in line with the line that is on the shoe just for now. We may make more adjustments to that as well. All right, here we're gonna tighten this up just a little bit more now that we've got the placement. We are going to check now to see if we need to adjust the angle. And to do this, you are gonna need to hop on your counter or even a bar stool, something that is going to allow your legs to hang at a 90-degree angle. And from there, we're gonna look down at our toes to see if they are either pointing neutral, if they are pointing out, or in. Now, one foot may be pointing out or in, and one foot may be neutral. That is totally fine. We are just going to make sure that, again, we are getting the most comfortable ride on our bike, and making these small minor adjustments can make a huge difference to your ride and your comfort on the bike. Now that we have the angle adjustment figured out, we are going to make those adjustments on our shoes. So with my right foot, that was pretty neutral, so I can set that one off to the side. With my left foot, my toes were pointing out just a bit. So for this, when you flip your shoe upside down, things are gonna be a little backwards in this. When we're going to make these minor adjustments, again, minor adjustments are gonna go a long way. So start out with a small adjustment. And if you get on the bike and see you need to make more adjustments, you can do that. But with this, you want that cleat to be pointing. If your toes are turning out, you want your cleat to be pointing in towards the big toe. If you've noticed that your toes are pointing in, it's gonna be the exact opposite, and you're gonna point that cleat towards your pinky toes. So I'm gonna make my adjustment here, make any adjustments that you need to as well. So once you find that position, make sure to tighten them down, make sure both are tightened down, because we are gonna hop on our bike and we are gonna test this out now. And as you're clipping in and clipping out, if your cleats are not tightened all the way, you're gonna have the possibility of moving where your cleats were just placed, and all that work, you'll have to do it again. Now that you got your cleats tightened down, it is time to hop on the bike, ride for 3, 4, 5 minutes, see if you noticed anything. If your toes start going numb, you may want to adjust that fore-aft position of your cleat again. You do have a nerve that runs down the middle of your foot, and if you're putting too much pressure on that nerve, that's what's gonna make your toes fall asleep. So again, minor adjustments, you can make those adjustments, hop on the bike and try again. But once you have found that sweet spot, you are ready to take off the tape. And go for your ride. So thanks for joining me for this cleat install. This was awesome. If you are looking for a ride to test out your new cleats and new shoes, you can find that right over there, and I will see you over there. Thanks for joining me. I love you.